right, good morning. How's everybody doing? All right. Y'all want to learn about some annuities today? Show of hands real quick. How many people are actually selling annuities right now? Okay. How many people want to start selling annuities? All right, excellent. Well, listen, I've got a few minutes just to share with you guys today, and my job is really to really add value to you, okay? Anybody that knows me and has ever been around me and might listen to my training, I'm all about content. So I'm going to give you guys a lot of content. I'm going to give you guys a lot of tools to take with you today, leaving here, that can help you go out and write $1 million in the next 3 months. Is that okay? Two people? Is that okay? Okay, just want to make sure we're good with that. Because I'm going to talk about making money today. Is that okay? Okay, cool. Because the thing is listen, in 2010, I got my insurance license. And it was a game changer for me because I remember coming out of college, and of course I graduated right in the crash of 2008, 2009, so wonderful time coming out. And I remember just being on the search, trying to figure out what it is that I wanted to do in my life, but not just to get a job, but to make an impact. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to do something meaningful, something that I can live with and it fulfills me. And I remember meeting this gentleman that was a friend of the family. And I wanted to get into the insurance world. For some reason, the insurance world just seemed like it was cool. I mean, everybody needs insurance. It was able to add value. And I said, listen, I want to come work with you. And he said, you don't know what you're doing. You're not going to come work with me. Just, it is what it is. And so, for me, I took that personally. Like, I'm not a big, don't tell me no kind of guy. So when he said that to me, I went on the search. And I started looking for opportunities in the insurance world, and I found one. And I went out and I got my insurance license, and like I said, in 2010, and I had no idea what I was doing. Absolutely none. And I'm going to be honest with you. Some of you guys came out of the gate smoking. I fell flat on my face. I mean, my first year was brutal. Anybody else feeling that? It's okay. It's okay. Listen, it happens. And so I remember falling flat on my face, and as I continued through my journey, the most important thing, I think, to me was finding a mentor that could show me the way. And I've heard a lot over the last 2 days about people finding a mentor and finding somebody to really latch on to what they're doing. And I've always been a systematic kind of person. I played soccer, played sports through college. And so whenever the coach called the play, I just went out and ran the play. Right? I never questioned it. Anybody sports players in here? Right? When the coach called the play, we just went out and ran it. You never questioned it. And that was how I took my insurance business. I never questioned what my mentors were saying. They said, go to the next state. I got in a car and went to the next state. They said, the leads are there. You go there, right? And so I never questioned that. And I always went out there. And for the first 4 years of my career, I was able to write $20,000, $30,000 in life insurance consistently. And we were making good money. We built an organization all over the country of over 250 agents. But I'll be honest with you, I got burnt out. I did. I'm not going to lie. You go at that pace that long, man, I got burnt out. And I always remember, I'm a big numbers guy. Obviously, we're here in the financial world, and I'm real big on profit and losses. So I remember looking at my profit and loss statement every single month, which I'm sure all of you all are running every single month. But the profit and loss statement to me was so important. And I remember looking at the months where I made the most money. And it was always the months where I was selling annuities, right? I mean, I had that $20,000 issue paid month, but I also popped that $100,000 annuity, and I got paid that $5,000, $6,000. And I remember those were always the most profitable months for me. So in 2014, I left the company that I was with. I had built an incredible, six-figure residual income, and I just wasn't happy. And so for a year, I did nothing but just study the industry. I became a student of the industry. And I started realizing and remembering how sitting with clients and writing annuities and really being their financial person, how much of an impact I felt like I was making, right? Because the insurance world is very transactional. And unfortunately, I see too much of this going on in the insurance industry. We write an app and then we never talk to our client again. I hate it. It's the truth, but it happens. And so becoming a full-service financial professional was something that I wanted. It's something that I wanted. I wanted to have that client for a lifetime. I wanted to be their go-to person that they could count on when times got tough, right? Because, again, I started in 2008 in the insurance world. What a tough time to do that in the financial world, right? And anybody see what's going on the last month? It's brutal out there. It's happening, right? We talked about 2008, we continue to talk about it, but it's happening now. Are your clients calling you? Are you their go-to person? And so, again, that's what got me in. And I found a mentor. I found somebody in 2015 that was doing $20 million a year in annuities out of their office. Anybody want that position? Right? And so here's the thing. Is I knew that's where I wanted to go, and I knew I found something. I knew I found somebody that could take me to where I wanted to go. And so, I kid you not, I'm a kind of all-in or nothing kind of person. You'll get to know that. My wife and I, we picked up our life. We closed our office in West Palm Beach, Florida, and we moved 4 hours over to Tampa just so I could be in that gentleman's office every day for a year and a half. And on the weekends, I would go out and I would run mortgage protection. We still got to pay the bills, so we've got to make sure that continues to keep going. But I remember going out there and just watching him, watching his energy, watching how he interacts with his clients, watching the strategies that he came up with and how he, conveyed the message of simplicity, right? Because here's the thing. I'm going to tell you right now, most people don't write annuities because they don't understand them, right? Let's be real. How many of you don't write annuities because it's a little bit complex? Okay, the two of you. All right, so everybody else in here is doing it. Good. So, but here's the thing. For me, it was confusing. It was difficult, right? I didn't understand it, and I didn't want to take on the risk of taking somebody's life savings and making a mistake. So for me, that was nerve-wracking. And then I realized how simple these products actually are. And I'm going to talk about the simplicity. I'm going to talk about how you convey the message of simplicity, because I'm going to promise you right now, listen, if it's difficult, I will mess it up. I promise you that. Some people are like, oh man, you write over $5 million, you must be pretty smart. All right, let me tell you about being smart. When I was flying, so anybody that knows me, I do not do technology. Like Vince was talking about, doing stuff over the phone, I will mess that up. So I remember when I first started, and everybody had those Bluetooth things in their ear, right? I felt like that was like I was a salesperson. I had the Bluetooth thing in my ear, always walking around. Well, if you know me, you know that I could never get that thing connected to my phone. So, right. So I'm the kind of guy that I had the Bluetooth thing in my ear, but I'd still be on the phone. But that was me. I just felt like a salesman with the thing in my ear. So I'm in Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm changing flights, and I see my phone ring, and so naturally I just pick it up. I'm like, hello, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, somebody's on the phone, and I look and I see this little blinking blue thing on my phone, and the first time in my life it connected, right? But here's the thing, I'm in line in Southwest because I like to fly first class, so. Some of y'all didn't get that one. So you got it. All right, we got one person that got it. So I'm in line, and I'm like A30 or whatever, so I'm kind of like right in the middle. Now, not realizing what I'm doing, I'm taking a phone call, which I never typically do, and I have this habit of like dropping things in my, like when I travel, I usually have like a backpack, so I throw stuff in my shoe that I'm not using, and I realized that I put my Bluetooth thing in my shoe. So, not thinking anything of it, I reach into my bag, because I'm still like, hang on, whatever. And so I take my shoe, and I'm like, in my shoe, hang on, hold on 1 second, give me a minute. Not realizing what I am doing, I'm in the middle of about 60 people talking into my shoe. Should have saw that sight. So the reason I say that is, listen, guys, if a guy who talks into his shoe in the airport can do it, I promise you guys can do it. Is that okay? All right. So I want to talk a little about how the annuity world changed my life, okay? Because I think it's important to obviously know where, and everybody in here is in a different part of their career, right? Some of y'all are just getting started. Some of you guys are going, what the heck is an annuity, right? And that's okay. That's where I was. And I promise you, it took me time. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. I didn't wake up and start writing $5 million a year in annuities. I promise you that. But here's one cool thing. I'm going to write over $10 million in annuities next year, and I'm going to record the whole thing. I want you all to follow me on the journey to see how simple it is. Is that okay? I promise you it's easy, and I promise you it's doable. If I can do it, trust me, y'all can do it. All right, so in 2015, I had to reinvent my business, right? I hit that wall where I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do the life insurance thing anymore. I was bored of it. I was burnt out of it. And I wanted to reinvent my business. So like I said, I moved. I found a mentor. And that's where my journey started. And in 2016, I did my first seminar. Now, I'm a seminar marketer. Okay, so they work. Seminars work very, very well. Okay, I don't care what you've heard. They work incredibly well. I have a seminar coming up next month, actually in 2 weeks. I have over 150 doctors and nurses registered for that event. How many people like that? Right? It works. My last 2 events, this month alone, I've written over $2 million in annuities off of 2 events that I've done. It works, okay? I promise you it works, but it takes time. I didn't just step in this thing and figure this out, okay? I went through a long journey to figure this out, and I'm going to help you guys go through that journey a little bit quicker than I did, make not as many mistakes. Is that okay? All right, so it allowed me to reinvent my business, but here's what it did. It put me in front of higher net worth individuals. When I was selling mortgage protection, I accidentally stumbled upon annuities. My first annuity I accidentally wrote. I was my second month in the business. I was out selling a mortgage protection policy, and after I wrote up the app, the lady comes to me and she goes, I have this like 401k thing. Do you know anything about it or what I could do with it? And me, I was always just like, I try to play it cool. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Just give me a statement. I'll look it over. So, me, I just took a statement. I was like, I'll be back next Tuesday. I had no idea what to do with it. So I went to my manager. I'm like, hey, listen, she's got like 30 grand. I don't know what to do with it. And that was how I wrote my first annuity on accident. Right? I was just told, take a statement, go talk to your upline, and, and consult with them. So that's what I did. The coach called the play. I ran it, right? So, but working in the seminar world has allowed me to work with higher net worth individuals. Now I work with people who are $80,000 to $100,000 to $200,000 earners, which allows me, when I was selling mortgage protection and final expense, my average annuity was 75 grand. Today it's almost 200,000. Okay, it's just a difference between being in front of the right kind of people. Okay, and so I want to help you get in front of that right kind of person. Is that okay? All right. And listen, this allowed me to develop a passion. It reignited that fire. Some of you are here. This might be it for you, right? This might be this is the spark that you need, right? This is the thing that you need to get back into it. You need to feel that energy again. Anybody else trying to feel that energy today? Right? That's why we're here. And I love it. And congratulations for being here because you took the step, right? We talk about events being such a big part of this. I never miss one. I've been doing this for 8 years now. I've never missed an event. When I had no money, I never missed an event. Some of y'all saw my interview. Anybody see my interview we did with Cody online? I was broke when I went to my first conference. My mom is here today. She paid for me to get there. I had nothing. I had no business being there. But I'm going to tell you this. Events changed my life. They changed my life. Listen, they are a piece of the puzzle to your business. And every one that you miss, you may miss the missing piece, right? I couldn't afford that. I was broke. I couldn't afford to miss pieces to my puzzle. Either can you. So I'm glad you're here, okay? And listen, if this is okay too, the annuity world tripled my income. My first year selling annuities, I went from 100 grand selling life insurance to 320,000. Is that okay? Anybody want to do that this year? All right, excellent. Now listen, power of a mentor. It's incredibly important for you to find somebody that knows their stuff. I promise you, we are getting ready to go through an ugly time in this country right now financially. Okay, we started to see it. Your clients need somebody to count on. I promise you this, when I do my presentations, they are looking for somebody that they can come to when this gets ugly. Are you that person? Do your clients even know that you offer annuities? Let's start there. Right? So you have to make sure that your clients understand that you are their go-to person. And here's the thing. Just like you need a mentor in this business, your clients need someone to be mentored by as well. They need somebody to follow. You can be their financial mentor. For 2 different hospitals around the country, every single month, I host a financial educational webinar for over 2,000 doctors and nurses every single month. Who do you think they're going to go to when this starts crashing? Whose phone's ringing off the hook right now? You can be that person, okay? You can be that person. Now, I talked about the power events. Never miss an event. Never miss an event. Listen, you guys got to become a student of this game. This is a game. You got to learn how to play the game, but you've got to become a student of the industry. How many people here have read the new tax law? About 3. All right. So here's the thing. If you're going to talk to your clients about how an annuity or how financial products work in their life, how can you do it without understanding how the tax consequences may affect them? Right? You have to become a student of the game. For the last 3 years, I've done nothing but become an incredible student. I read every single day. I never read the Wall Street Journal. I read it every single day. Some of you may think that's boring, but here's the thing. This is what you do for a living. Because if you're not doing it, the next person that goes in is. I'm doing it. I'm going to come in behind you. You don't want that, I promise. So become a student of the game. Understand, listen, there's a few things you're going to have to understand if you want to get to this level of annuity production. Okay, and I'm going to go through in a little bit kind of how I talk to the clients, but you got to understand Social Security. Okay, so if you guys are taking notes, write this down. These are things you need to know to become an absolute beast in the annuity world. All right, you have to understand Social Security. You got to understand a little bit about taxes, enough to be dangerous. Okay. Now, you have to make a 100% commitment to your business. In 2015, when I started reinventing it, I had to become 100% committed to the game. And you guys do too. You're here, become 100% committed, okay? Now, confidence is a game changer. Listen to me. Listen to me. Your clients won't remember 90% of what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. When my clients come in and they sit down for an annuity appointment, trust me, they don't forget how they feel when they leave my office. I actually had one of my clients call me the other day and tell me they love me. That was a first. It happens, right? When people get emotional, I get emotional with my clients. I get into it with them. I'm their person, right? They won't remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. All right, so what differentiates you? I had to change my approach. Listen, if you are going to step up and you're going to be in the financial planning world or you want to get to this kind of annuity production, the sales tactics have to change a little bit. They had to change for me. I had to go from that transactional type of business where I was going in and getting an app and walking out the door to becoming an incredible educator. And part of the reason why I talk about becoming a student of the game is because you have to understand what you're talking about. I spend most of my first appointment, I'm a 2-appointment close, sometimes 3. I spend most of my time educating my clients. And they love it. They leave my office knowing more than they ever have learned in 50 years of their life, okay? You have to do the same thing. You've got to become an incredible educator and less about the hard sell, guys. You know, when you step into this world and you want to become a full-service financial professional, it's not about the hard sell. It is not. I promise you, you start trying to hard sell somebody that's got $300,000, you're not going to get it, okay? You have to become a great educator. Now, how do I acquire high-end? Listen, to acquire high-end clients, these are the things that it took. And I hang out with people who do $10 million and above all the time. So when I'm consulting or I'm working with other agents in the field, even the people who taught me, this is what they do. Okay, so this is not like I just invent. Can you put that slide back up, please? This is not, I didn't invent this. This is what they do. These are the things that they use for marketing to become a 5, 10, 15, $20 million a year producer, okay? So they do Social Security seminars. All right, we have a turnkey, at Top Rank Advisors, we have a turnkey Social Security platform. They do estate planning seminars. These are all very simple to learn, guys, I promise. Retirement planning seminars. Tax planning seminars. You know, the gentleman that mentored me runs a tax practice. You want to talk about having somebody come in your office every single year. What if you did tax returns? I know it's a little bit above the grade, but what if you did tax returns? That keeps people coming in every single year. It's another stream of revenue. But guess what happens? When you meet that person that's 55, 56, that's a few years away from retirement, they keep coming to you every single year. So you know in your CRM system how much annuity production you have coming in next year, right? All right, federal benefits workshops. This is what changed my world. All right, I'm in the federal space. Anybody working in the federal space? All right, so we got some federal stuff. I'm going to explain how simple that is. Client appreciation events. Let me ask you this. If you guys have been in the industry, who's been in the industry for more than 3 years? Okay. More than a year? Okay. So when was the last time you held a client appreciation event for all of your clients? I'm going to tell you right now, this changed my world. Because here's what I did. I took all of the clients that I was working with, and I said, you know what? We've got a database full of people. You guys that are selling final expense mortgage protection, think about the database full of clients you have. What if you took that entire database, right, and you invited them out for lunch? What kind of referral business do you think you could get from that? And that's what I started doing. So before each one of my seminars, what I do is I hold a client appreciation event. And guess what happens? My seminars grow every single time because I'm bringing them to lunch. They're bringing a friend. That friend now comes to my seminar. It's the same thing. It's not a churn and burn. I'm not trying to go on to the next one, go on to the next one. These are clients for life, guys. All right? So, pros of annuities. Why should you sell annuities? They provide guarantees. How many people wouldn't like a guarantee on their retirement right now? He wants her guy. I want a guarantee too. All right? So here's the other thing. They create an income stream. How many of you guys work in the final expense. How many of your final expense clients still have a pension? Right? Very few. So you get to help them create another one. No downside risk. They're not going to lose in the market. Okay? Provides liquidity. Simple crediting. Listen, here, some of y'all don't understand how crediting works. I'm going to give you a very simple explanation. When you're writing an annuity and you're trying to figure out how the crediting method works, it's all about the S&P 500 is one of your options, right? The way that it works is it's just the average of what the year did. So if the market did 10%, some of your annuities may have a cap of 6%. So if it goes up 10, they only get 6. Not a bad deal. That's simple. So next time somebody asks you, how does this thing work? You say, if the market goes up 10, you get 6. Is that okay? Oh, but you have no downside risk. Right? So simple. Simple. And passing assets down to your family. All right. Now, here you guys, I'm going to give you guys some good questions. Ready? Write these down. I promise this is what made us millions of dollars in revenue by asking these simple questions. What asset, for you guys that are selling mortgage protection life insurance, here we go. Ready? When you're sitting down, you're going through your fact finder, and you're trying to uncover dollars, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, what other assets do you have that will be able to cover your debts if you die? Very simple question. Some of y'all in the mortgage protection, I get this question all the time. How do you transition? It's right here. What other assets do you have that will be able to cover your debts if you die? And they may say, well, I've got a 401k. Okay, well, how's the survivorship set up on that? And what do you think you get? You get the deer in the headlight look. Right? And so I would say, remind me that we got to go back to that after. And I move on. But I plant the seed in people's heads. So for those of you guys that are sitting with people every single day, understand this is what you can ask. These are questions. Here's another question. Are you 100% confident that you're going to have a great retirement, or do you have some doubts? Are you 100% confident? You could walk around all of Nashville, ask this question. Sir, are you 100% confident you're going to have a great retirement, or do you have some doubts? All right, when we have another 2008, how much money can you afford to lose? I ask this at every one of my seminars. When we have another 2008, how much can you afford to lose? And here's another question. What changes have you made since 2008 to avoid it happening again? Right, because history repeats itself, doesn't it? What changes have you made to avoid that happening again? All right, here, anybody ever run into, I'm going to talk to my financial advisor about that. Anybody run into that? Okay, so here's a question. The number one reason that people cannot retire most of the time is not because they don't have enough money, but because debt overtakes how much they have going out each month. So here's a question. What is your financial advisor's strategy for getting you out of debt? I promise you this one right here helped me write a $2 million case. The number one reason people can't retire is because they have too much debt. All right, now, the art of the strategy. Listen, guys, this is where things get real. This is where things become real when you're talking with your clients. Your clients need to know that you have a strategy for them. Because going in and trying to sell an annuity based on a bonus, okay, it could be a strategy, but when I'm working with my clients, and you guys are working with your clients, it's got to be about a strategy. So these are the 4 strategies that I talk about with my clients, okay? Number 1 is a short-term growth strategy. So this kind of comes with knowing some of your products too, right? Knowing what's available to the market. It could be a 1-year or an immediate annuity to a 5-year annuity. Okay, so you got to know what the strategy is. When is your client getting ready to retire? Build a strategy around that, okay? I see all too often people getting put into these 10, 15-year annuity products when they're getting ready to retire in 3 years. Come on, guys. That's not a good strategy for your clients, and they will know that. Long-term strategy. Could be 10, 15 years if they've got a little bit of time. Guaranteed. Some MIGAs out there. Some of you guys, how many people have clients that have CDs? Right? I got a CD for $30,000. Well, guess what? An annuity, a MIGA, multi-year guarantee, can do the same thing. It guarantees them 4%, 5% for 5 years, right? So you have to understand the strategy. And long-term income, we talked about having a pension. It could provide an income as well. Okay. Fact-finding. This is what I do for fact-finding, guys. Very simple. I want to know about their income. All right, so for those of you guys that are looking to get into this, you got to understand, what is the income? What's their Social Security, right? Because if you're coming up with a full financial plan, you got to understand how Social Security fits in. You got to understand what their income is going to be. All these things play a big role in coming up with a strategy for your clients. All right, so I want to know about what other pensions do they have? What debts do they have that's going to knock us off course? What are your expenses? And last, but not least, what's your financial goals? Right? You got to understand, what are your financial goals in retirement? Because this will help you create that strategy. All right, now, here's the sell. When I'm working with my clients, I am really big on utilizing the tools that allow me to create a nice report for my clients. And here's what I use. So just so you guys have it, I use something called Track, okay? You can go to asktrack.com. I use it for all of my clients. Absolutely love it. Or Retire Ready Solutions. Use tools, okay? I like I said, I will mess this up without a tool. So use the tools that are available to you. But when I'm going through it, I'm doing a retirement analyzer, and I'm going to show you some illustrations of this in a minute. Social Security timing is another one for those of you guys who are trying to get into the Social Security world. And then you want to go, when you talk about the sell, it's about the problem, right? We uncover the problem, but what is the solution? Right? Your clients have a problem. They're losing money like crazy right now, okay? But what is the solution to that problem? And that's where an annuity can come in and really help. Now, here's a simple. So this is an actual case that I was working on. I want to show you how simple this is to sell annuities when you're using the right kind of software. So this client right here, they came in. We did a full fact finder. We found out what their Social Security was. We found out what their pension was going to be, what their TSP was. This person was on workman's comp. But I want to show you something here's the selling point right here. You see where it's red? See that red line right there with all those red bars? Do you know what that means? That means they're going to run out of money in retirement. How easy do you think it would be to sell some annuities if you had something like this to show your clients, right? That they're going to run out of money in retirement. So you get to come up with a solution and help that person. See, again, I'm not the greatest at this, but all I know how to do is use simple tools that allow me to convey a message, to get in front of these people and to show them a strategy to help them eliminate this red right here. How many people can eliminate some red for your clients? Simple, right? This is simple stuff. This is not rocket science, okay? I promise. I would mess this thing up if it was. So, listen to me. Here's a sample solution. I'm going to teach you all how to read this right now because this is very simple. Because some of y'all are having a really difficult time selling income riders. You understand the income rider. This is how simple this is. Ready? I want you all to pay attention here. Okay. So this was an actual case. I just wrote this last month. Okay. This is not a carrier or a product. I'm not even going to talk about that. But this is an actual case that I wrote last month. So they put in $250,000. Okay, $250,000 was the initial investment into the annuity. Let me show you how simple an income product works, because I'm going to tell you right now, most of my annuity sales are income-based selling, okay, because people need another income. And I'm going to tell you right now, it takes about $250,000 to give your client $1,000 a month in income. So you have to understand how that fits in, because guess what happens? If somebody has money and they retire, and they take that big lump sum, life happens, doesn't it? All of a sudden, the roof leaked, the car broke down, and before you know it, that $250,000 dwindled down to nothing, and they have nothing for retirement. So you get to create a lasting income stream for the rest of their lives for your client. So if you look here, beginning of year, so kind of right in the middle, the beginning of the income year, we went from $250,000 to $287,000. That's your income base. Very, very simple. So you give me $200,000, and then what I like about the chart is it shows you the amount of years that you defer, so all the way at the end over there, it shows you the amount of years you defer. So if we look at this chart, in 5 years, they gave us $250,000, but in 5 years, if you look over to where the income is, the guaranteed lifetime income, some of y'all are selling hypotheticals. I sell guarantees, just how though I do it, because I'm real big on you give me X, I'm giving you X back. Is that fair? All right, so if you look there, now you've got a guaranteed income in year 5. They're age 68, okay? You guarantee them an income of $20,000 a year for the rest of their life. How simple is that? Extremely, right? But that's the thing. We mess this up because we're trying to explain all the crediting methods and all this blah, blah, blah. Listen, they don't care. I hate to break, your clients don't care. They don't care about the crediting. They don't care about all. What they want to know is if I give you my money, A, is it safe? B, is it going to be there? C, is it going to die with the market? And what is it going to give me in return? Am I right? Listen, guys, simplify the process. I will mess this up if it's not simple. This is all I do. When I'm selling an income product, it's X in, X out. Can anybody not do that? Simple. All right, guys. So, Top Rank Advisors was built to make this process simple for you guys. We teach our agents the simplicity of it. There's an entire training that we have behind us. So if anybody's interested in really ramping up their annuity production, we can help you. This is what we focus on, okay? And I'm gonna leave you with this. You want to put this slide up for me? We have some upcoming annuity boot camps and some virtual boot camps, and we got some really cool webinar stuff coming up. So here's the thing. Email me, call us, get a hold of us, follow us on Facebook. What we're going to do is we are going to start doing these webinars. Anybody in this room is welcome to attend, but you got to make sure you register. So you can drop a business card off, or you can email us info@ryanpolimeni.com, and we will make sure that we get you the information for our next upcoming webinar, 100% educational based. All right, I'm going to leave you with this. Because I know this is a lot of info in a short period of time. All right, my clicker, there we go. All right, so having a power of purpose, right? We talk a lot about the power of a purpose. What is your purpose for being here today? And in 2014, when I was making a transition in my life, I read this quote, and it changed my life forever. It said, the 2 most important days of your life is the day you were born and the day you find out why. That hit me like a ton of bricks. The 2 most important days of your life is the day you were born and the day you find out why. I hope that I can add some value to you guys. I hope that being here this weekend, you find your reason why. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.
Ryan Polimeni. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here with us, 8% Nation. So my question for you, Ryan, if agents are not a part of Top Rank Advisors, can they still get access to your annuity training?
They absolutely can. Like I said, if you email us at ryan@ryanpolimeni or info@ryanpolimeni.com, we will make sure that we get you continuous education. We're all about content. We're all about education. Man, we're just here to help.
Awesome. Where can they find you? Where's your booth? Where do they find you?
Our booth is right over at the beginning. Top Rank Advisors, come and see us. Make sure you drop off the card. We'll make sure we get you the info.